The phenomenon of serial killers, a chilling enigma. They walk among us, seemingly ordinary, yet beneath the surface lies a profound darkness. These individuals, driven by motives often unfathomable to the average person, commit acts of unspeakable horror. Their crimes, marked by a cold, calculated brutality, leave scars on society's psyche. Understanding the psychology of a serial killer, delving into their minds, is a journey into the darkest corners of human existence. Their world, a chilling distortion of our own. They operate outside the boundaries of empathy and remorse. Driven by twisted desires and fantasies, they prey on the innocent, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. A key characteristic unites these individuals: a profound detachment from reality. This detachment manifests in various ways: a lack of empathy, an inability to comprehend the suffering they inflict, their victims reduced to objects, mere instruments in their twisted fantasies. This emotional detachment is a crucial element in their psychological makeup, enabling them to commit acts of unimaginable cruelty without a flicker of remorse. They live in a world of their own making, a world where their fantasies reign supreme. The line between reality and their inner world blurs. The consequences of their actions hold no weight. They are detached from the human cost of their crimes. Ted Bundy, the charming law student, was a man who seemed to have it all. He was intelligent, good-looking, and had a bright future ahead of him. To those who knew him, he appeared to be the epitome of success and charisma. But beneath this polished exterior, he was a wolf in sheep's clothing, hiding his true nature from the world. He lured his victims with his charisma, his seemingly normal facade. His ability to blend in and appear trustworthy made him all the more dangerous. Behind his captivating smile lurked a monster, a predator who used his charm as a weapon. He preyed on young women, subjecting them to horrific acts of violence. His victims, often unsuspecting, were drawn to his seemingly benign demeanor. Throughout his trials, he maintained an air of detachment, as if the heinous acts he committed were of no consequence to him. He reveled in the attention, his narcissism fueling his need for control. The media circus surrounding his trials only seemed to embolden him. Even when faced with overwhelming evidence, he denied his crimes, maintaining his innocence with a chilling calmness. His detachment from reality was absolute, a stark contrast to the emotional turmoil he caused his victims and their families. He refused to acknowledge the pain he inflicted, showing a complete lack of empathy for those he harmed. Bundy's case illustrates the chilling ability of some serial killers to compartmentalize their lives, separating their true selves from the monstrous acts they commit. This duality of human nature, the ability to hide one's true self behind a mask of normalcy, is what makes figures like Bundy so terrifying. They walk among us unseen until their true nature is revealed in the most horrific ways. Edmund Kemper, known as the co-ed killer, a giant of a man standing at 6 feet 9 inches tall, but his imposing physique masked a deeply disturbed mind. He murdered his grandparents at the age of 15, his descent into darkness already underway. After his release from a psychiatric hospital, he went on to kill 6 young women. Kemper's detachment manifested in his necrophilia. He would keep the bodies of his victims, engaging in acts of depersonalization. He later beheaded his victims, further distancing himself from the reality of his crimes. Kemper's case highlights the role of early trauma and uncontrolled fantasies in shaping a serial killer. Section 5. Jeffrey Dahmer. Trapped in a cycle of desire and despair. His name sends shivers down the spine, a haunting reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the human soul. Jeffrey Dahmer, a name synonymous with horror. His story is one of unimaginable terror, a descent into the abyss of human depravity. He lured young men to his apartment, promising them companionship. These unsuspecting victims were drawn in by his seemingly harmless demeanor. Instead, they encountered a nightmare. The apartment, a place that should have been a sanctuary, became a chamber of horrors. Dahmer's crimes were fueled by a desperate need for control, a desire to possess his victims completely. His need for dominance was insatiable, driving him to commit unspeakable acts. He experimented with their lifeless bodies, attempting to create his own twisted vision of companionship. His actions were a grotesque parody of human connection. Dahmer's detachment was evident in his attempts to preserve his victims. He meticulously stored body parts as if trying to hold on to the remnants of his twisted relationships. He photographed their bodies, kept their skulls as trophies. These macabre mementos were a testament to his need to dominate and remember his victims. He even consumed parts of their flesh, a grotesque attempt to make them a permanent part of him. This act of cannibalism was the ultimate expression of his desire for control and possession. Dahmer's case illustrates the complex interplay of psychological factors, abuse, isolation, and uncontrolled fantasies that can contribute to the creation of a monster. His story is a chilling reminder of how deeply rooted psychological issues can manifest in the most horrifying ways. In the end, Dahmer's cycle of desire and despair led to his own downfall. His life, a tragic tale of lost humanity, serves as a stark warning of the dangers that lie within unchecked desires and unresolved traumas. Section 6. The role of fantasy in fueling the abyss. Fantasy plays a crucial role in the psychology of serial killers. For them, fantasy is not an escape, but a driving force. Their fantasies, often dark and violent, become obsessions. The line between fantasy and reality blurs, their desires consuming their sense of self. These fantasies fuel their crimes, providing both motivation and justification. The act of killing becomes a ritualistic fulfillment of their fantasies. Each murder, a carefully orchestrated performance designed to satisfy their deepest, darkest desires. Their detachment from reality allows them to commit these acts without experiencing the full weight of their consequences. Section 7. Nature versus nurture. Unraveling the roots of evil. The question of what creates a serial killer is complex. Is it nature or nurture, genetics or environment? The answer, as with most human behavior, is likely a complex interplay of both. Some individuals may be predisposed to violence, their brains wired differently. However, environmental factors such as childhood trauma, abuse and neglect can act as catalysts, shaping and distorting their development. Understanding the interplay of these factors is crucial in developing strategies for prevention and intervention. Early identification of at-risk individuals, coupled with appropriate psychological support, may offer a glimmer of hope in preventing these tragedies from occurring. Section 8. The emptiness within. A lack of empathy and remorse. One of the most chilling aspects of a serial killer's psychology is their profound lack of empathy. They are unable to comprehend the suffering they inflict on their victims. Their emotions are blunted, their conscience seemingly absent. This lack of empathy is often accompanied by an inability to experience remorse or guilt. They view their victims as objects, not human beings deserving of compassion. This emotional disconnect is a key factor in their ability to commit acts of horrific cruelty without experiencing the normal human responses of empathy and remorse. Section 9. Inside the mind of a monster. Can we ever truly understand? The study of serial killers is a journey into the darkest recesses of the human psyche. Their minds, a labyrinth of twisted desires and fantasies, challenge our understanding of good and evil. While we may never fully comprehend what drives them to commit such unspeakable acts, we must continue to study them, to learn from their darkness. By understanding their motivations, their psychological makeup, we can develop better strategies for prevention, intervention, and treatment. Only by confronting the darkness can we hope to protect the innocent and prevent future tragedies. Section 10. Conclusion. A legacy of terror, a quest for answers. This chapter delves into the chilling world of serial killers, examining the profound impact they have on society and the relentless quest to understand their dark minds. Serial killers leave an indelible mark on society. Their heinous acts are not just crimes, they are events that shake communities to their core, leaving scars that last for generations. Their crimes, often brutal and senseless, evoke fear, anger, and a profound sense of vulnerability. The terror they instill can change the very fabric of a community, altering how people live their daily lives. Understanding their psychology is not about condoning their actions, but about confronting the darkness that resides within human nature. It's an attempt to unravel the complexities of the human mind, to find patterns and triggers that might explain such monstrous behavior. By delving into their minds, exploring their motivations and the factors that contribute to their creation, we can strive to prevent future tragedies. This involves meticulous investigation, psychological profiling, and a deep dive into their pasts to uncover the roots of their evil. The study of serial killers is a journey into the abyss, a quest for answers in the face of unimaginable horror. It is a path fraught with challenges, but one that is essential for the advancement of criminal psychology and public safety. It is a journey we must continue for the sake of our safety and the preservation of our humanity. By understanding the darkest aspects of human nature, we can better protect ourselves and work towards a safer, more informed society.